Brett, the NFL ranked your game December 22nd, 2003 as the 52nd greatest game of all time. You're in Oakland, Monday Night Football against the Oakland Raiders, where you had actually the Raider fans rooting for you. Can you just kind of walk us through? When I see clips of this, by the way, I look in your eyes and you have this daze. And we talk about being in a zone. What were you like that day? Because you threw for 399 yards, 4 touchdowns. Your quarterback rating was at 154.9. You kind of just went ballistic in this blowout of Oakland. As you said, it was a big game, but take us through you and your thoughts that day.
Well, again, it was the longest, shortest 2 days. In the day of the game, obviously, uh, generally there's a different mindset. But again, football was kind of the last thing in my train of thoughts, just from Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I knew there was a game, but there was really no football talk. At least not when people came in the room. It's like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" They put their arm around me. "We got your back." But Monday, team meeting, I can't remember what time team meeting was, like 10 o'clock or something. Guys got up and spoke, which was unusual. Most of the time it was coach give his last 10-minute spill, and you go on to pregame meal and then go into the stadium. I can't remember how many guys, but there was a bunch of guys that stood up and said, "Brett, don't you worry. We got your back. We're going to win this game. We're going to pull you through." And that was obvious in the game because there were some throws I made in that game that were as good a throw as I've ever made in my career. But there were some that our guy should have never touched it, that should have been intercepted, fallen incomplete at best. And not only my guys catch it, scored touchdowns or ran with it after. I mean, they were amazing. I didn't get touched. If there was ever an example of having my back, it was that game. But what I remember almost maybe more than anything else was that night they were calling the offense out. So, our offense would be called out and you run out. Generally, in an opponent's stadium, especially Oakland, you're not well received. I got a standing ovation, and and I I cried because of that, and just that they put all their differences aside for just a moment and honored my father, and that's what I think about with that game more than anything.
Was there any talk of you maybe not playing the game at all? Was it thrown
Well,
to
there
you?
was a lot of chatter that will he or won't he play, but that was coming from the outside experts. There was no question in my mind I was playing because that's what my dad would truly want me to do and have it no other way. The issue with me was just playing was not enough. Playing at a level that I'd never played at before, which was hard to do, was the big issue with me. Like I just don't want to play. And that's just me thinking to myself in the room by myself. Dad, I'm gonna play, but I want to honor you like I've never honored you before. And that's by playing the greatest game I've ever played in my life. So the pressure to perform was enormous, way more than any game I'd played before and then after. And I played in 2 Super Bowls. I played in championship games in hostile environments. But this was not so much a hostile environment per se, but the pressure to perform better than I've ever performed up to that point was asking a lot. And by halftime, I'd already done that. And, we talk about our faith. If there was defining moment in my life. And believe me, I made my share of mistakes and I've asked for forgiveness from the good Lord many a times, but I prayed and prayed, Lord, help me, guide me to the best game ever so I can honor my father. And then, we pray all the time. And I think you want God to come down and go, ta-da. It's sometimes the sign it's there and you don't see it. But when I walked off that field, I was like, I got my sign, because I know how difficult it was. Uh, to perform and to perform the way I did that day, that was because of God. No question.